We're live. Gentlemen, I was running around. I just made coffee. We're here to talk about paintball. So, I don't know. I'm losing my train of thought. You know, as we always do, we're thanking bfpgear.com. You can see bfpgear.com right there. Long-time mega supporter of this channel. I mean, they've, from the very beginning, supported this channel. So support BFP Gear if you want these videos to stick around. Here's BFP's gear. Here is BFP Gear's website. And you know, one cool thing that's happened somewhat recently is 180Rs are a little bit cheaper. Maybe there's a 190R coming out. Probably not. Although maybe. Who knows? 180Rs are on sale. So if you're looking at getting what I think, you know, probably is the best value in paintball, 180Rs are on sale for $900 at bfpgear.com. But they got all kinds of stuff. You know, maybe you want to get a new tank cover or a tank reg. Maybe you want to get a tank reg removal tool. You get filmable covers. You get threat protectors. You get tank extenders. All kinds of stuff, not just tank stuff, at bfpgear.com. Yep. Hopefully everybody's well this evening. We have some planned paintball things we can talk about. Meteor Paintball kind of like, you know, showed off a little bit of a teaser on a new closed bolt mechanical gun. Kind of something interesting there with that closed bolt system. I want to like explain how closed bolt guns work and kind of how they're solving barrel rollout. What else are we talking about? The Hormesis Duel happened. We'll touch on that for a beer moment. Field 1 update a little bit. Ryan Greenspan, about 2 weeks ago now on the Spick and Span show, gave a little bit of an update on future guns like the G7R and the MVP2. I'm out of breath though, so we're going to slow down my talking just for a moment so I can catch my breath a little bit. This running around, I was like in such a hurry trying to make coffee here. Let's give it let's relax a little bit. I see the chat room wants to talk about Dan the Man. I don't know. We'll do that at some point here. I guess soon as we're done with like this little news segment, like all the things that I have planned to talk about, we'll talk about that. And I don't really have anything planned, you know, like, I don't know. I didn't do a bunch of research on hate crimes and, you know, that kind of stuff. So maybe if you have questions about that situation, get your questions ready. And I'll like just answer whatever questions you have. And I'll kind of like recap, you know, what's happening. But in the meantime, I was going to make a joke, but I don't know how YouTube feels about it. So we're not going to. Let's go to the media. Oh, I'm off screen. That like surprised me. What am I doing here? The Meteor paintball guns. So if you guys are a little bit unfamiliar with Meteor, we'll go to me really quick. Meteor paintball. I don't know what I'm doing. Meteor paintball have been around for a while. They've really, I mean, a long time. They've been making kind of custom guns for a long time. I remember that Meteor Impulse from like 1999 or whenever that was. And they have, I meant to actually show this as well because a number of years ago, we did like a Meteor paintball autococker build. And that right there is the Meteor autococker. That is a Meteor body. I am all over the place right now. Meteor autococker body. That's also a trigger frame from Meteor. What else is on there? A lot of stuff, really. The beaver tail, the bolt, all their internals, the cocking knob. There's a bunch of stuff on there. The feed neck. But I bring Meteor up because they just kind of showed this video off. Meteor Paintball are releasing a mechanical gun. What did they put? They put that it's ultra low pressure, which, you know, I don't know what that means. I mean, everyone's saying their guns are low pressure. It's engineered for maximum efficiency and consistent velocity. Again, you know, marketing speak kind of stuff. The most interesting thing about it, though, is it's closed bolt. And, I was trying to compile a list of paintball guns that are, sort of recent that are closed bolt. Obviously, we have auto cockers and pump guns, stuff like that. But currently, there's the Nova N4 that's closed bolt. Maybe the most popular electronic guns that were closed bolt, probably the AKA guns, the Viking and the Excalibur. There was also the original Shockers were also a closed bolt gun. And what's really kind of interesting about closed bolt guns, if you guys I want to make sure that I've got none of my notes. Okay, we're not doing any more of those. What's really kind of interesting about closed bolt guns is I just want to kind of like illustrate the Viking is open bolt. Okay. I was kind of confused, and then I was like, I'm not doing the research. I'm pretty sure. I was like, I don't have the time. So what's kind of interesting, though, and what they're solving here, I have a camera set up right above me so I can show a paintball gun. I'm going to zoom in, and let's hope the lens does not fall. So with most paintball guns, right, what's happening is you have a paintball, it loads in, and bolt goes forward, gun shoots. That all happens in one motion, right? The bolt shoots. With closed bolt guns, what's happening is the ball gets pushed in, and then nothing happens until you wait and pull the trigger. So the bolt is actually firing, the gun is actually firing before the bolt moves. I'm doing such a terrible job explaining a closed bolt gun right now. Yep, I've lost my train of thought. So let's reset this. Let's say that we have the gun right here, right? And there's no paintballs loaded in there at all. With regular electronic guns, what you would do is, or any of these guns, right? Even this thing, this is an open bolt gun. What I meant to say was if you have an electronic hopper, you'd turn the hopper on, paintball would load in, you pull the trigger on this Mech, and it's gonna shoot. Right? The bolt goes forward and it shoots. If you had a closed bolt gun, like let's say the new Meteor gun, they're going to call the Ghost, or so you have an autococker, what's going to happen is the bolt's actually forward like this. It doesn't rest in this back position. So the bolt is forward. So if you have the hopper like this, you turn your hopper on, it hits the bolt. So the way you load a paintball in there is that first trigger pull, that ball goes in and it pushes it forward. But then the next trigger pull, the gun will actually shoot, then the bolt comes back, another paintball will load. So it's actually firing from this position. So the bolt is never really moving when the gun fires. It shoots. Whereas this thing, an open bolt like the Mech moves forward and it's all kind of in one motion. But what's interesting about that, one of the real problems though, is that you can see if you load it in like this, right, and then you pull that trigger, it's going to go and then push that ball forward. The ball right now is actually in the barrel, so that if you tipped the gun down, the paintball actually will slide out the barrel. So what Meteor are going to do is they're going to use a detent right here, and they're also going to put one further forward in the gun. So they're going to move the breech forward a little bit longer. So that's one of the reasons the front of that gun looks longer. So there's a detent that'll stop double feeding right here. But then once that ball is actually pushed in there, there's another detent right in the front, like right there, that's going to stop that paintball from rolling down the barrel. I have not explained closed bolt guns in like 6 years, and I did a really poor job. But, that's what you get when you don't talk about something for a long time. I think we got a little bit better at the end there. But Meteor are releasing a closed bolt gun. So for you old school guys, a lot of closed bolt like people say they're a little bit more consistent or more accurate. Oh, I don't know if that's ever been proven, but it is just interesting, having a different style gun out there that's closed bolt rather than open bolt, because everything is open bolt. So just having more variety is pretty cool. I assume it will be very, very high quality. All that Meteor stuff that I've ever touched has been really good. Apparently it's going to be around $500. Should be available this fall. So like 6 months or so, and should be around that $500 price. It's also coming at an interesting time because Push as well. Push are also releasing the Push Propel. That's, you can buy that thing right now. It literally came out like last week. They're $650 though, so it's a little bit more, maybe looking a little bit nicer though. This Meteor one's kind of like, kind of just a little bit crazy looking. The milling's just a little bit like, reminds me of like 1998 or something. I think they're all made in Switzerland too, which is a little bit crazy. The N4, the Meteor Ghost, I believe. It very well could be called something else, but after some investigation, I believe it's going to be called the Ghost. The Meteor Ghost, Jonathan. And we'll touch on this a little bit. The Hormesis Duel kind of concluded. I'm not really entirely sure what the deal is, because, I kind of thought this, the conclusion of the duel was like the end of the year, and then it says 2024 on his thing, so I'm kind of confused. But this past weekend at Prime Paintball in Alabama, the finale of the Elite 1v1, the Hormesis Elite 1v1 concluded. And what's always been cool is they actually give $15,000 away to the winner. So Justin Hodges was able to win 15 grand. It's pretty cool. He's obviously a young guy. I think he's 18 or 19. He's on the U19 roster, so he's probably got to be... Do you have to be under 19, or is it like 19 and under? U19. So it's got to be under 19. He's under 19. Just really cool. He's actually playing on the Hurricanes this year. This is his first year on the Hurricanes. You can see him right there in that Hurricanes jersey. Really cool. Alex and Oliver's clothes are just freaking on point, too. Looking great. I want to get like a Hormesis clothing sponsorship. You guys are looking for, a guy to wear cool clothes, I will do it. Send me all your scraps that no one will buy because they're so crazy. Yep. Congratulations, Justin. Really, really cool. I imagine a moment that you will remember forever. Caddyshack. There you go. For sure. Yep. I don't know. We have some other things we can talk about, but why don't we talk about Dan? So, if you guys are unfamiliar, there's a gentleman named Dan Bilzerian. Dan Bilzerian, I don't really know all that much about him. I think his dad was rich. And he's just a rich guy. He's like early 40s, I think. He lives in Vegas. He has his own paintball field in his backyard. And he's just, got a reputation for himself. Back in like 2008, 2007, I think about back at those times, and it was like, even watching the old paintball videos, it's like all a bunch of guys, like there's girls in bikinis all over the place. And I'm like, why? Like, why are these people like, it's just weird. And it was just that time, right? And he was super rich and had like models at his house all the time. And he just got like weird internet famous, really kind of for no reason, I feel like. He just became like, one of maybe the first influencer people that was just an influencer. They didn't really do anything. They didn't really have any reason to be famous. He wasn't like a basketball player, or he didn't like invent something, or he didn't have a cool business. So he was always kind of a weird character. There's plenty of videos on him of him online, like seeing like crazy shit, like shit that I don't even like. It doesn't even like, I can't even like comprehend. So it's like just crazy. We've talked about him on here, as soon as he started popping up more in paintball, like 6 months ago, I feel. We've talked about him multiple times. So I don't know. He, really what's happened now is, I think, was it on Saturday or Sunday night? I think maybe on Saturday. I think it started on Reddit. These pictures were posted on Reddit. I don't know if this is going to get us in trouble. They probably not. I mean, right? So these pictures, first of all, were posted on Reddit and said they came from Marcelo's Instagram account. And some of them for sure did. I don't know where some of the other photos came from, though. So this right here is certainly a screenshot from Marcelo's Instagram account. It was in a Instagram story that I believe I have recorded. But these last two, I'm not sure where they're from. They're not from this like story. They're from different things. So I'm not really quite sure what's going on here. I just don't really know where these two are from. You can obviously see it's got that crop thing up in the corner and like the screenshot of something else. So I don't know. People are saying that this is from Marcelo, and I don't think that Marcelo necessarily posted this. That I don't know. But you know, none of this is surprising, right? I mean, we've talked about this before. I mean, we've talked about Dan Bilzerian before. I mean, just go type in Dan Bilzerian in the internet and like just tons of wacky videos of him come up talking about how like the Jews are controlling everything. And I'm like, I don't even really know any Jewish people. Like, who are they controlling? I don't understand. But anyway, I truly can't. I don't even know how to like comment on it because it's just so like over my head and beyond me. So any of this like Nazi stuff, like I can't think about it. I think about it for like 10 seconds and it just like doesn't make sense. So I don't understand how people can get wrapped up in things and think they're real. So, you know, I struggle with not climate change. I struggle with like, you know, thinking the world is flat and thinking that there's like, you know, trolls living under the ground. Like, I struggle with all those things. I can't bring myself to like understand how people believe those things. Because as soon as you ask yourself like two questions, you're like, yeah, that doesn't make sense. So I don't get it. It's just beyond me. I don't know. There have been some paintball companies that have kind of, I don't know, I guess voiced their displeasure with something. I mean, some of them have been kind of vague and not specifically called out people. But like, hold on. I actually wrote some of them down. So Planet Eclipse, definitely. Planet Eclipse socially, on social stuff, said something. MacDev and Planet Eclipse straight out said stuff. Virtue, I guess, posted some picture of a guy with a knife, which is stupid. J-Rab came out and specifically said something. And Uprising, for sure. Uprising, I think, kind of led the charge on being vocal about how it's stupid and this guy's an asshole, which is cool. Hold on. I feel like I'm kind of nervous. Maybe my mouth is kind of like dry. Dan Bilzerian is going to send his goons after me. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think that the part that's probably the most distressing for people is Marcelo's like involvement. You know, I don't know. I have no idea. He obviously posted that video of that gun, right? But he posted the video. He posted again the video where this is 100%, you know, from the Instagram story. And I don't know, he might not really be thinking about it and like not really be paying attention, you know, because it was just like a walk through the room and he was like showing everything. And, just go and buy stuff really quick. And you got to think that he's also posting like, fucking all the goddamn time. So it's like you go through and you're like, bam, post. And you're not really like editing and curating everything in super detail. That's kind of the whole point of Instagram stories. So I don't know. I don't know if he 100% was like, this is Nazi stuff and I'm posting it. I highly doubt that's what's happening. But I don't know, He's definitely like involved somehow. But not that he even knows the whole story behind Dan Bilzerian either. Not that I do either, but I just kind of known his backstory for a decade. He's been saying crazy shit for decades now. So, yep. I don't know. I told people to like ask me their questions because I wasn't really going to talk about it, but I just talked about it for a long time. I don't know. It's like, what else? I don't know. I'd think that, if I was associated with him through sponsorship, I mean, at this point, it's probably not great. I would probably distance myself. Like if I was Infamous, I think Infamous sponsors the team he's on, I would probably distance myself. Not to call out Infamous specifically, but I just remember seeing the Infamous logo on like a jersey or something like that. Yeah, because at this point it's like, the internet's gone crazy. Like it's all over Facebook and Instagram and Reddit and I assume Discord and Snapchat and what are we using nowadays? I don't know. So everybody knows now. So once you find out this little piece of information, you just type his name in and it's like, oh, okay. He's kind of like not the greatest dude. So I don't know if I was a company, I would want my stuff affiliated with them. Yep. G7R. Okay. Who cares about this Dan? He's a jackass. I don't like talking about jackasses. G7R. Yeah, there wasn't tons of stuff. They just kind of casually mentioned on the Play the Game podcast. That'll be interesting to watch though coming up. On the Spick and Span show, they casually mentioned, Greenspan casually mentioned something about the G7R, the MVP2, and a mechanical force frame. So one of the things we kind of known is there is a mechanical frame, and I've heard not anything about it. I mean, I heard that they had it, and somebody had it at the field a couple weeks ago, I think. I'm in Sacramento, so I'm only like an hour or something like that from the actual Field 1 like warehouse. Hour and a half, something like that. So apparently somebody had the mechanical frame at the field, but that's all I know. So there's not any like crazy revelation there. The G7R apparently is ready to go and completed. So they have apparently a completed G7R design. They're just, what Ryan said is they're waiting for machine time. What that means, I'm not sure. Obviously, there's other work that's being done ahead of that that's priority. I don't know if that means that they're just pumping out a ton of forces or if those machines are making something else. But I do know they own the machine. I know they don't, I'm pretty sure they don't operate it. So it's possible that like the machine's kind of doing two businesses or, doing something like that. I don't know. I'm just not sure what exactly what he means by that. And he also said that there will be an MVP2 as well. And I think they have that design completed as well. I just started using a new piece of software called Hodenspot or Hodaspot. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'm going to try and I just thought of this. I was like, I actually have I probably have, oh man, jeez. I was like, I probably have the pictures of the MVP2 still. I mean, I know I do, but I'm not going to scour for them right now. Yes. So all that stuff is kind of done. I guess they're just sort of waiting for it or something like that. What are you guys saying? Gush? Yeah, so apparently it's coming. I mean, if you search like MVP2, Bob Long, or Field 1, pictures will come up. I think that the pictures on my website will probably come up. So we'll see. I mean, I think that if they just... Oh man, I totally forgot to get something else ready too. Hold on. This is not going to be super exciting. The G7R. Oh, okay. Let's see if this works. Heyo, that was a little like mock-up that I did at one point for the G7R. I was gonna say, if they just do that, I mean, literally, if they just make that, people will buy it. All you gotta do is like make the G6R again and like, you know, maybe put the new foregrip on the front of it and call it a day. And you don't even have to make it adjustable, because the Force foregrip is actually adjustable back and forth. Most people probably know that. I mean, if you own one, you know that, but you can actually move the foregrip back and forth. And I have never seen anybody play with it in like the back position. It's always in that forward position. So you don't even have to do that. Just pop that new foregrip on there with that battery junk in there and call it a day. I would like it. Yeah, they could do that. That wouldn't be hard, right? Probably. Mark, what's up, baby? Does that mean the G6R will be cheaper? You didn't put a B in there, though. Probably not. I wonder. I could even see it getting more money. You know, the G6R, when they released it, was only like $700 or some crazy shit. What's crazy is the Intimidator was $700 as well when they released it. Why did I go back to this? I don't know. I think that if they released the G6R, or G7R, you never know. I mean, it'd probably be like $1,500. So the G6R price might not decrease all that much, because it would be quite a bit more expensive. But then who knows? They're made in the USA, so maybe they get like a discount from the government. Probably not. I don't think that happens. Yeah, guys. Getting real out there. Give the live stream a like. If you're in here, you know, give the live stream a like. I'm probably the only person you're going to find on the internet talking about Dan Bilzerian like this. I know that Greenspan's tried. There were like mere moments where he was like, nope. I was like, damn. So it didn't happen. Yeah, it just kind of sucks. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously I care about paintball and I want the best for paintball. So it'd probably be best if we didn't have people like that around. But, you know, obviously we can't tell people what to do. But that's why I was talking about companies, really. It's like, if that's what I would do, if I was a company, I would probably be reevaluating the situation. It is kind of interesting. People said that they were like giving favoritism to them on the webcast as well. And I was like, really? I was like, I can't see that. I mean, they don't even do that for the pro teams. Yeah, come on. Everyone got to give it a like. If everyone's like, you got Mark in here, Mark's going to lose his mind. Nate's the man. Nate won't lose his mind. Nate's cool-headed. Oh, yeah, I totally just lost my train of thought. Is Hormesis Jewish? What do you mean? Well, Hormesis is a brand. So I don't think they have any a religious affiliation. But I have no idea. I mean, I don't know. You know, it's never been it's never like been something I've ever wondered about anybody. You know, I've never met anybody and been like, I wonder if that guy's Jewish. Like, what? Like, it just seems so pathetic to me to worry about what other people are doing with their time and like who they are. Like, who gives a shit? I mean, this isn't like 1410. I mean, you don't have to worry about like invaders and like weird shit going down. It's like you're just some rich guy. Like, you know, go worry about shit that matters. Like, I just don't understand. That's why it's hard to talk about it. I just don't. It'd be like, let's talk about flat earthers. I'm like, what do we even say? Anyway. In the Hormesis group, they said they were cutting ties with Dan. Well, that makes sense. I mean, sure. That's like I was saying with the sponsors, and that's good. That doesn't mean they're Jewish, you know. That just means they're not insane. They're not pretend Nazis that like think Nazis are cool for some reason. Kind of weird. Maybe if you're like, you know, like 14 and you think Nazis are cool, you know, I kind of give those people passes a little bit. Because, like, you know, at that age, you're just trying to, like, be cool and, like, this is cool because everybody hates it. But when you're, like, 40, it starts to get a little weird. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. NXL. I don't know. People said that they were giving the NXL was like giving favoritism to Protocol. And I was like, I don't like what? I was like, I don't know. I'm not sure. You know, I don't watch any of the divisional finals. I'm not watching divisional games at all. So I just don't care. Sorry, guys. I'm watching pro only. I mean, I'll watch the semi-pro finals every once in a while. But I don't know, were they giving them like favoritism during the like, you know, webcast and stuff? That seems odd to me. It doesn't seem like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like something that they would do, but maybe. I have no idea. I didn't watch it. They did make the finals 2 tournaments in a row. I don't know if they won. They did win 2 in a row, which is crazy. They were glazing Protocol on the stream. What does glazing mean? Do I want to know what that means? I'm going to glaze someone later. Yeah, it's also got to be weird for his teammates, you know? Paintball's such like a small community. It's like, what do his teammates think? Like, what do the people on his team think? No, TJ, if I were the NXL, I wouldn't do anything, honestly. I mean, I don't know. I mean, why would they? I don't think that the NXL should do that anyway. Until something happens at the NXL, they have no reason, I don't think, to ban him. That'd be crazy to me. I would think that would be extreme. Because he's not like, you know, doing anything crazy at the NXL or whatever. I don't know. Some braids. I don't even know what you're talking about. Team wears robes and pointy hats. Did Dan break any rules getting kicked out? No, that's what I'm saying. No, he just like, you know, posted some like, you know, some like Nazi stuff. He made himself a cool Nazi paintball gun. That's why I don't think the NXL should do anything. I think that would be weird. That's why I was just saying companies, you know, like if you're sponsoring him, the whole point of sponsorship is that you represent the company. And if you're sponsoring someone, the goal is to pick somebody that represents your company well and can like represent your brand how you want it to be represented, right? So like, I would think that Hormesis, for instance, Hormesis have a very like good brand identity, right? You kind of know Hormesis. They have like, you know, this colors, they have like a lot of earth tones and everything's like handmade and it's kind of hippie-ish a little bit and has a very distinct style. So I'd think that if they were sponsoring individuals, they would look for people that have that same feeling and that same distinct kind of style that fits their brand and can help tell their story. And if you're sponsoring Protocol, does Protocol's story now align with your brand? Probably not. That's why I think it's weird. And the NXL's, the NXL, he's a customer of the NXL's. The NXL pays him. So, yeah. And DG, yeah, Marcelo being quiet, I guess, is kind of weird. I think that people want him to make some sort of statement or do something. But I don't know. I think that, I don't know, I don't know. It's not our life. It's not your life. Let him do what he wants. That's how I kind of feel. It would be probably good if he said something, but I don't know. I don't know what he's going to say, like, what is he going to say? And it's really difficult too, because the situation is very odd. Oh, that's right, Jordan. I did read Tyler's. I'll talk about that. I'll talk about that here. Let me finish my thought. The situation's also just weird because, like, we don't know what's happening with Marcelo and Protocol, the team. We don't know, how much he's getting paid to coach, or that whole situation could make it really murky as well. Dan's super rich, I think, anyway, I mean, he portrays like he is. I mean, he's obviously got way more money than I do, but, I don't know if he's as rich as, we feel like he is. But anyway, I was just thinking about if he's got more money than Bart and Randy. So could he possibly pay could he possibly pay Marcelo quite a bit more? And probably, he could probably pay him more. So I imagine. Oh yeah, Tyler's comment. Yeah, it just gets weird, If he's giving him $200,000 or something, it's like, it's fucking murky, dude. Tyler definitely commented. I saw the clip of, or like the screenshot of Tyler, I think on Discord, saying he didn't really even know who he was before the podcast. So I guess he was on the podcast and Tyler just wasn't aware of like his history or past or something. Then Tyler was like, we're definitely never going to have him back. And I think he said it was stupid, or he's a jackass, or he says it's bad. Which I imagine, I mean, Tyler and I grew up in the exact same place, and it's like, I don't know anyone who doesn't like Jewish people, or I don't even know. It doesn't even register in my reality. Anyway, who's got paintball questions? Yep. Don't gotta keep talking about this. What else do I got on here? Well, we won't talk about that. Fix that up later. We'll look for actually comments that are paintball related. Brad, what did I miss about the G7R? Not a lot. We're just unsure, kind of. They said that it was completed. The design is completed. They're just waiting for time on the machines. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what that means, though. So, Mark, I know we just got to have Nazis. If we just have more hate crime news, or more like something, maybe we'll start rocking to the top of the charts. Now you guys wonder why people talk about and do crazy things. Because we now live in the attention economy. Oh, you know what else I was going to recommend for anybody? If anyone's kind of curious, like, honestly, I've had a hard time relating to, like, it's hard for me to, like, try and understand people's weird thought processes and, like, flat earth people. Like, why people believe flat earth and, like, QAnon stuff. Like, I don't know how people believe that stuff. There's a very good podcast. It's like one of the most popular podcasts called Stuff You Should Know. And about a couple months ago, I looked this up before the live stream. A few months ago, they did an episode on gullibility that was exceptional. It was very eye-opening, and we kind of learned a lot from that. So, gullibility. I'm not going to like recap it or anything, but it was pretty good. Mark, it's hard to see anyone getting behind an LV3. It seems like the LV2 wasn't as popular. I don't know. I would agree with that. I would agree. I think one of the, like, it was just at a different time too. Like when the LV1 came out, 2012, right? Even by that time, the poppet valves were kind of like fading a little bit. They weren't as popular. You know, like the G6R was still around, barely. I mean, the last one they made was 2012, right? LV2 came out, everyone was excited, and people liked it, so it's not like people didn't buy them. But one of the big draws to those guns was always reliability, and at this point everything's reliable, so it's kind of like, I don't know. They're a little bit bigger. The ergonomics were kind of crazy. I mean, it was a big ass gun too, which is a turn off to most people. I mean, even I think it's too big. So the LV3, I don't know. What's this big ass orange? Z. What are you saying? Waiting for machine time likely means they're waiting for an open section in a machine shop schedule in order to begin milling the G6R components. Exactly. But I don't know what they're waiting for. That's all I was wondering. Because I was curious if they're waiting to finish a bunch of like force bodies, or if they're like sharing the machine with somebody else, because they own a machine to do the bodies. I don't know what they own, but I know they own it. But I don't know if they like, I don't fucking know. I don't know the whole situation, you know? I don't know. They're probably waiting for money to pay for the machine time. That's probably true, Steve. That's probably very true. That's probably the real answer, huh? Because I thought about that, like, I thought about when I was a guest on the Spick and Span show. I thought about that. I was like, because we were talking about like the old Bob Long guns and stuff, and I was like, he was like, man, Bob was able to make so many bodies back in the day. You know, I mean, they had new bodies all the time. It's like in the first 3 years, they probably made like 15 different bodies. You know, they had so many guns. And Ryan was like, I don't get how they can do that. It's like, I don't know. It's like they own the facility, and he's like, we do too. And I'm like, oh, that's true, huh? So I assume just back in the day, you know, Bob was just selling far more guns than, you know, Field 1 can. And that makes sense, obviously. I mean, they were far, far more intimidators at the paintball field than any Field 1 guns, you know, like around where I play. I mean, half the people there had intimidators. Yep. Steve Johns. But you can own the plans and the procedures to have a guy run the jobs for them. Is there even a mechanical poppet marker? Is it even possible? Yeah, I mean, everything's mechanical poppets. Is there a mechanical poppet even possible? Is there even a mechanical poppet marker? Yeah, spiders and Tipmans and all kinds of stuff, right? Am I crazy? Okay, there we go. I'm like, yeah, spiders and Tipmans, like all kinds of stuff. All kinds, like Zodins. I mean, most of the, yeah, lots and lots of guns are. I mean, most of them are kind of just spider ripoffs, but you know, mechanical poppet valves, autocockers, and yeah, autocockers, fucking Tipman SMGs. Was that mechanical? Yeah, that was mechanical technically. Someone said something, and isn't the axe poppet? Yeah, the axe is poppet too. Yeah, most of the people in here are from ever. Someone said he might be. Donald says he's new. That's good. Welcome. Will I be at CPL? I will be there, yes. I don't remember what day I'll be there. I think the 18th. I think I'll be there on the 18th. I'm going to take photos for the Sacramento Street Fighters. We're going to, See how that goes. Am I hitting the microphone? No. What else we got we can talk about? I might be looking for a video editor. I don't have like plans to really talk about that or start looking, but I think I'm going to start finding. I think I'm going to start looking for someone to edit video. Sorta. I want to have someone be like a rough cut video editor, I think. And that's about all. Film some raw tournament footage? No, I don't ever film tournaments. Tournaments, I mean, it depends, right? I mean, it depends, because like, if I'm gonna go there, like, I'm gonna, for like, you know, film for Street Fighters or whatever, or not film, but I'm gonna take pictures for the Street Fighters, and, you know, most guys want, like, say, media from the tournament. So they want, like, video or photos. And I can do video, but the problem with video is, like, you don't know what's gonna happen, right? So I kind of just have to set up and wait. Where, you know, whereas if I'm taking photos, I can take a bunch of pictures off the break and then move over here and take a bunch of pictures and then take a bunch of pictures right here and then move over to this guy and take a bunch of pictures. So I can get like coverage and pictures of everybody. Where video, it's like, I don't know, it's just like much more difficult. So it kind of just, it's just difficult because you don't really like, you just don't know what's going to happen, right? You can't just take like a 2-second video of somebody. You know, people want like the whole video. You know, you can't just take little quick videos like you can with pictures. I can be like, and just take a bunch of pictures and have like, you know, tons of pictures of everyone from different angles and all kinds of stuff. A video, I'd be like, oh, well, it's like, hopefully I get everyone. I mean, if you get shot off the break, you're not going to get anything. So anyway, yeah. Pictures. There we go. I'm 6'3" and I play Snake 1. Should play back. No, you can play wherever you want. You know, I'm 6'4", 5. At one point I was 6'5", but I'm technically not anymore. I think scoliosis has shrunk my back. Yeah, I'm 6'5", 4, whatever. And I always got put in the back, right? It was never even like in my like thought process to play back or to play front. And it wasn't really until like 2007 or somewhere around there that Joy Division from Stockholm Joy Division, watching those guys play actually made me realize that, wait a minute, I'm actually just as athletic as all these front snake guys. I'm just tall and I can get to the snake fine and like I can actually play in front positions, you know, because Joy Division can do it. You know, I'm just as athletic as the Joy guys. Probably, you know, maybe not max, but for the most part, you know, I can do that stuff. And they're tall, you know, most of those guys were like 6 foot plus or something like that. So it wasn't until I actually like saw them do it, I'm like, holy shit, you can just run. I can do that. I was like, I can do that shit. So it was cool actually seeing them do it. So you can play front. Who gives a shit? There's tons of tall guys. Like, I don't know. It is a little bit difficult, but when I watch Bridnikov like stand up in the snake and shoot guys, I'm like, wow, geez, dude. I have to be on a knee to do that. So they can like stand up and like run around and shit. And I'm like, fucking gotta take my pack off and like army crawl everywhere. Crazy. Anyway, yep. I might hire a video editor. That's just in my notes. And I don't know. I kind of want to find a person that's not very experienced. Like try to find somebody who films paintball and, you know, kind of just edits paintball stuff and might be interested in trying to learn a little bit more and assemble some stuff for me. So it's kind of a basic job. But I think it would clear up a good amount of time for me. And I always thought that editing would be like so much money. I'm like, dude, if someone asked me to edit videos, the videos I'm doing, I'd be like $5,000, you know, give me 10 grand, I'll do it. But that's why I was like, I really just want to find someone that's not like super experienced, like ideally like college aged or something like that. Because what I want is super, super basic. It's literally taking the video and the audio and syncing it, and then cutting the video to the script, and then adding some B-roll that's obvious, and then that's all. It wouldn't be like, it'd be fairly rudimentary. And it had to be someone cheap too. That's why I want to find like some kid that could do it. But if you're good with editing software, that's something you could probably do in like, you know, a day, 2 days. It wouldn't necessarily take exceptionally long. Yeah. Basic junior college stuff. Some brains, it's not even that, dude. I mean, I could teach, if you're like fairly competent with a computer, I could probably teach most people how to do this in like 3 hours. It's not even hard. Yeah. How do we reach you? You can reach me at brad@paintballruinedmylife.com. That's the best way. brad@paintballruinedmylife.com. Like that right there in the chat. Although, yeah, that one in the chat. Yeah. Some brains. Audio panel. Yeah, audio. I wouldn't be doing. They wouldn't even do any audio stuff. I mean, the only audio you have to do is sync the 2 clips, and that's literally like a button. You just select them and hit like sync clips. I'll handle, because then they would like assemble it essentially, and then I would get it back, and then I would add more B-roll, and then I would like add sound design stuff. I would do transitions. I would do probably more color grading. I would add all the like parts that I feel that like make it kind of unique or make it a little bit better per se. And it's something difficult too. It's kind of has to be a paintball player. Because if I want them to add footage or whatever, or even just understand the script, you know, you have to kind of understand what I'm talking about a little bit. It can't just be some random ass person, you know, you've got to kind of like get the context of what's sort of happening or whatever. I don't know. What are we talking about, Donald? What are we talking about? Mirrors? Oh, really, Steve? We pulled together a rush cut. That's what they call it in the biz. I used to do it. Really? Huh. Well, that's what I need. I need a rush cut then. Yeah, and it would only take like, you know, I mean, it takes me a long time because I'm not all that hyped about it sometimes. So sometimes it takes me longer than it should. That's why I'm like, man, it could use someone, if they were like, you know, just serious, you could sit down and probably bang it out in like a day, even. It wouldn't like necessarily take that long. What are you guys talking about? You guys talking about like how to play paintball? Ask me, I'll answer. Adrenaline, have you gotten I was thinking about if I talked about you earlier, I didn't. That was Meteor paintball. You guys were kind of the same though. I thought about the Meteor Impulse. That's what made me, I was like, oh, no, sorry though. I have not seen in person the Carbon Drive yet. No. I asked for one though. Damn it, I forgot. I totally forgot to ask again. Because I emailed Walker like last year, like when we first saw him, and I was like, dude, send me one. And he's like, yeah, for sure. And he's like, I like it. I'm like, cool. He's like, I'll let you know. I'm like, cool. So let's do that again. Email Walker Drive. Forgot what it was called for a second there. I did see that they put it on their like website, or no, some people have it for pre-order or something like that. I don't know. I'm just, I don't know. It's like, I don't know, good hoppers, are $250 now, and this thing's $300. And I mean, I think its big draw is that it has a screen on the back, but I don't know what I need the screen for. So it's not so useful to me, but I guess we'll find out. It's kind of my take on, screens on guns too. Like, I don't really have that big of a use for them. The only thing I use the screen for is the battery. Like, I just want to know if the battery's dead or not, really. I could eat. A hopper with a screen? Yeah, let's look at it. We might as well. Let's go to the browser. Carbon paintball. Look at this red character. Oh gosh. What is going on? Equipment? You'd think it'd be an equipment. Derv? There it is. It's hidden, I don't know. Or I'm dumb. That's it right there. $299.99. I mean, it looks interesting. I mean, we've talked about it like 10 times now. This is it right there. The carbon drive with a screen. So like, I don't know what the screen's necessarily going to tell me. I don't know. I mean, you can put a game timer on, I guess, which is cool, I guess, if you're like playing mechanical and you don't have an adrenaline Lux idle. Because, that's not fair. The CS3 mechanical frame, too, you can put the electronics in that. So I guess that's cool if, you need a timer on your hopper. But I don't know, other than that, what it's given me. All the carbon stuff is made really well, though. So, yeah, I don't know. Low ball alert? Maybe, though. But the problem with that is it doesn't know how much paint you have in your hopper. I mean, it can kind of do it, I guess, by like weight. Just like the freaking one hopper did. Okay. Dank Perp says, okay, the carbon drive is really cool, nice, and modern. Only hopper with a screen, but it's unnecessary. My R2 outperforms it. I don't know if I'd say that. I mean, I'm with you up until the R2 part. My experience with the R2 has not been that. But I hear you for sure. I like how it has all the holes in like the whatever area. It just looked kind of cool. I do kind of like how they have like just random. I'm not sure who that is. That might be somebody famous from back in the day. But I like how they have like just random like, team, like guys from the teams they sponsor and stuff. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure who that is. The carbon drive. We'll try to get one, and I'll try to take it apart for you guys. Scott Dean says, cool, we need the screen on a hopper, just like we needed the level light on the control. Yeah. Probably. Well, guys, if you ever wanted to support this channel, you can. Were you aware? You can actually help fund this YouTube channel. I want to hire an editor so I can actually maybe bang stuff out a little faster. You can help support that by becoming a pro level member. I'm going to delete this tier, I think, this week. So don't become that one. Pro level. You get a bunch of stuff. You get early access to videos. You get exclusive members only videos, like the Dynasty video that is on the channel. It's very good. Probably one of the better videos I've ever made, and it will never be available. Only exclusive members. Members only live streams. Discounts on merch. Support the channel, you know. Denzel does. He's a gangster. Denzel. Yeah. Denzel, every time I see your name, I want to call you Denzel Washington. And then I'm like, nope, Denzel Curry. And then I'm like, nope, Denzel Patterson. Bring back the GI Pulse since the NXL can't even have a working chronos. Really? They have chrono problems? I don't even know. I never saw the Pulse, I don't think, in real life. I don't remember, actually, because they had like the one without the radar. And I don't think I ever saw the one with the radar. I think all the ones that I ever saw had something else. Get both daily. Denzel Curry's better than I don't know another Denzel, I don't think. There's not a lot of Brads either, though. Maybe there are. Not really. Anyway. No chrono issues in AC, but there was an air issue. Yeah, I think there's always something, though, right? It's like there's always something. And if you weren't playing on a specific field, you might not even know. You know what I mean? Well, there's always something. It's like they're running like 10 fields, and it's just chaos. So something's bound to happen at some point. Bunkers deflating, nets are falling over. You can become a channel member. You can buy some headbands over. Damn. You can buy some headbands over at the Paintball Ruined My Life store. There's not a lot left, guys. I'll tell you that much. That's a good thing, though. They're only $30. It's a good deal. $30. There's a 3-pack on there for $75. There's also a bunch of styles. You know, there's like dark colors, like the star one that I'm wearing right there. There's that checker one that I'm wearing right there. There's some darker colors. There's some lighter colors, more vibrant colors. Get them while you can. $30 before the tariffs set in. Buy merch, guys. It's helpful. I say that every time. It really is. Any Fat Brad headbands? No, that would be funny, though. I was thinking about I should make shirts. I don't know what else to put funny things. I was also thinking about making an intro. I want to make an intro to the live stream so that, like, I can play the intro and then, how's it going, guys? Rather than me just being like, we're live. It's just like starts. But I feel that like I want to put like funny things in the intro, but I don't know what to put in there. Like I'm trying to think about like things that are like, you know, weird to the channel or something like that. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. What is sleep? What do you think? People are weird and scum for stealing hardworking people's things. What happened? Golden Grizzy, you're still waiting on a USA flag headband. I've made those so many times. This is I've made like a bunch of different times. That's probably the main reason I don't have one, probably. Is because I've done that a handful of times. I made like Canada barrel covers and like American flag barrel covers. I mean, all the next headbands I make are going to be made in the USA. That's something. I guess. I don't know. Maybe we'll get like made in the USA tags. Like I have some hats and stuff that have like made in the USA on them. Damn, what was I going to say? I was going to say something. I lost my train of thought. I don't know. Hopefully we don't have to talk about Dan Bilzerian after this live stream. This will be the last Bilzerian. Maybe we'll just call him Balzerian. I'm just going to call him Balzerian. Dan Balzerian. What paint do you use, Brad? Normally Dynasty stuff. I look down there because there's Dynasty stuff right here. Here's some paintballs. I mean, really, I just go to the paintball store and I'm like, what can you sell me that's the cheapest? And like, you know, I just use that. Smells like bananas. This stuff's so old though. But it's, I mean, it's in this room. It's starting to leak a little bit though. I think. Yeah, it's getting a little weird. I don't ever rotate it. I don't know if you, I don't even know if you really need to rotate paint or not. So, you know, Dynasty stuff. Worst basketball team on the planet. Dynasty stuff. But yeah, it's only because it's like somewhat cheap, you know? And it's good. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I've played so much paintball. I like feel like I don't really care anymore. I'm like, I get good paint, all right. If I get bad paint, all right. I just kind of like whatever. So it's like, I don't know, you know, I'm not like crazy about paint anymore, you know. I just kind of like, you know, I'm out there to have fun and kind of like hang out and dick around and be outside and, you know, that stuff. And if I'm doing that and I can still have fun, then whatever, I don't care. JCP 2000. If it's practice, just use white box seconds. Save your money. Can you buy that still? I was thinking about that a couple weeks ago. I was thinking about paint pricing back in the day, and I was like, yeah, we used to be able to get like seconds all the time. And like you could go to the paintball store and get like white box, which was just like crappy paint. You know, it was like the belly flops of paintballs. But I don't even know if you can get that anymore. I mean, like, you know, when I had the store, we couldn't order it. SoCal you can't. That's probably true. It's probably one of the few places you might still be able to, right? Because all the paint, they're still making paint down there, I guess. I mean, Mexico. I don't know. But you used to be able to get it all the time, and you really just can't anymore. I mean, we used to be offered it all the time, and I don't know. The paint companies kind of stopped doing that. I think they're either recycling it, so they're just like recycling it, the bad stuff, or they're simply just not making as much bad paint anymore. They've got like the formulas not nailed down, so they're just making better paint now. The quality per volume has gone up or some shit. I don't know. Defy's good stuff. I've always liked Defy's paint too. Yeah, Defy's always been good. It's always seemed bigger too, for some reason. Like it wasn't as small as some of the other companies. Huh. Delmont, tons of companies today dropping statements today about inclusivity. What happened? You know that Dan Bilzerian guy? We've talked about Dan Bilzerian on here before. Oh, shit, I pronounced his name right. Dan Balzerian. Dan Balzerian. He just, you know, I don't know. He's a jackass and did some jackass things. Go look at the paintball subreddit. I don't know. I'm tired of talking about him. Yeah. The D5 guy. Yes. Yeah, he's all into like, you know, pretending he's a Nazi and stuff, and it's just kind of stupid. Is he transitioning? That's good. He's transitioning into what? What's he transitioning into? Anyway, I don't even know what the hell we're talking about. This is a loose live stream. I feel a little bit more in control of myself. I'm looking at my notes. I was like, did I forget to talk about that? No, we're good. Do 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 do. I don't even know what that's from. What the hell is that from? Should I get a custom anode R5? It depends on what it is. With a Star David on top of it. Denzel, 2K5 Carney bodies, please. Yeah, I don't know when they're doing that stuff. I know that we've talked about WGP as well, kind of bringing back old autococker stuff. Let's see, like, do they have like a website, or are they gonna make me go to like Facebook? Oh gosh, here we go. Here's another like interesting comment. So we're gonna start, let's read this together, guys. I don't know if I'm gonna read out loud. You know what I realized is I'm really bad at reading out loud. I don't read out loud. And then I try to read out loud in live stream sometimes, and I'm like, fucking, my like brain goes faster than my like words come out, and I try to like read crazy fast. What is this guy saying? This is Pep. I don't know how to like necessarily pronounce his last name. To the paintball to the paintball Illuminati. Today I woke up to the paintball industry in an uproar. He used AI to write this. He didn't write this. We'll read it, and I'm going to do a little AI run checker. But over a symbol on a gun. This is the same industry that once embraced me, celebrated me as a top athlete and innovator, and gave me a platform to help shape the sport. But when I used to get that platform to speak out, especially to expose known predators, operators at the top levels, they turned on me. The same people who once cheered my designs and recognized my records worked behind the scenes to destroy my reputation. Eventually, they banned me from major leagues altogether. I don't know. Dude, it's very long. I don't know Pep at all, but he used to play pro, and that was just kind of crazy. I don't even know. I don't know what the fuck's going on. People are goddamn loco. People be losing their minds. I've always said I think it's the internet. You know, I think the internet is too powerful for some people. Is the 180R worth it? We were looking up WGP. Sorry, guys. WGP Facebook. I'm just trying to find WGP's war. What if I type war game products in? Oh, there we go. I want to see if they've updated anything. Oh, there you go. Yeah. So people unfamiliar, this is a... So Pep has this brand. He has a company called like Top Rank or something like that as well. And I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. The internet is just too powerful, guys. It's just too powerful. So WGP, this is WGP. WGP was originally owned by a gentleman named Bud Orr. Bud Orr was, it's contentious and a little bit debated, but Bud Orr was the inventor of the autococker, and then started War Game Products. Autocockers, you know, were around for a very long time. Company went away. Then I can't remember off the top of my head who purchased them. who purchased War Game or took over War Game, but he has all the old designs and everything. And they're going to start remaking some of these old classic bodies, like right there, that carnivore body. And I don't know what body that is. So there's some internal mechanisms. They're using a sleeve, which is a nice touch. That's like the new cool thing to do. You can see that body right there. What is that? Is that an Oracle body? You can see these all those old papers. It's just kind of cool. A lot of the old guys are gonna like that. All that like cool old stuff coming back. Who's cheating? Who's on roids? What's going on? Chris, Mean Gene. Gonna crash my Oracle resale value. Mean Gene. Is that who's doing it? I thought that about the carnivores. I was gonna say the carnivores are selling for like, you know, $1,500 and $2,000 still. Ron, hey Brad, what does Planet Eclipse need to fix a 180R when they make the 190R? I was thinking about like repairing stuff. I'm like, what are they gonna fix? I don't know why I just thought of repairs. I don't know. I have no idea, you know, like the same thing from the 170R to the 180R. It's like, I don't know, you know, it's kind of the same exact gun. It's just a little bit updated. You know, I would assume what they probably would do was they would probably take some of the bolt design stuff that's in the CS3 and probably try to put some of it into the 190R. But I don't know, you know, like I think these like budget guns are always a little weird though, right? I say budget, it's, you know, it's still $1,000, but it's not, you know, $1,800. So it's in that, you know, mid-ish price. Is there always never really huge changes, right? I mean, even if we look all the way back to like the 160R up to the 180R, it's not all that much different, right? They removed the air transfer tube. That's about it. You know, I mean, they changed the bolt a little bit. The 180R definitely shoots a little better, I think, but that's about it. They didn't really change anything spectacular. Brandon says the 180R is smooth as fuck. I thought I was shooting 140. Yeah, I say it does shoot a little smoother. It is quite a bit of smoother shot, right? It does shoot quite a bit better. But it's just a little bit of a bolt tweak. It's not like, you know, some major change or, you know, anything crazy. So who knows? You know, I would assume it's probably nothing crazy, you know. It's probably going to be essentially the same thing. Sleepy Invasion, I shot a mechanical 180R and wanted to throw my Ether 3M at a tree. I'll take it. You don't have to throw it away. I don't think I've shot a 180R mechanical. Not yet. I mean, I've definitely used the 170. Lots of people have the 170. And the 180R to mechanical frame wasn't like out at the same time as the gun, so I'd have probably used it if it was. Ron says, they need to fix the 180R front grip, make it a bit longer and stiffer. She said. I don't know if... I'm with you on the longer part. I mean, I really am. I mean, my hand doesn't fit in it. Like, if I put my hand... Like, if I put the barrel right here, and I, like, hold the gun, the foregrip's, like, stops right here, or some shit. So, like, my hand doesn't even... I can't even, like, hold... Like, it doesn't fit at all. So I'm with you on it being a little bit longer. Stiffer, I don't know if you're making a joke or if you actually can bend the front of it. Because it is just like, you know, nylon or whatever. So you could bend it. Ron said, what do you mean you hate? What do you hate? Yeah, the 180Rs are very nice though. I mean, it's kind of actually surprising how they made it, like, shoot better. My front grip has a little play in it. The rubber has gotten soft. The rubber grip? Or the, like, actual foregrip? Obviously the actual underlying parts are not rubber. I don't know. Their grips are normally really, really, really good. I mean, at least they're the best out of all the companies, I would say. Why don't I use dye guns? I mean, I would say 2004. I had a DM4. Maybe it was 2000. Yeah, it was 2004. It was like right when they came out. It might have. I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe it was 2005. I just don't remember. It had to have been 2004. Anyway, whatever. I had a DM4, and I played for a team. I played for the original Sacramento Damage team, and that was when Damage was sponsored by... Yeah, where's Dan? Is Dan Holiday in here? Speak up, Dan. Fuck. I played for Sacramento Damage, and that's what Damage used dye guns. And that's probably the last dye gun I owned, was probably like 2013, 2012. I don't know, I mean, my thing has always been, there is, sweet. I was just going to say, Sacramento Damage reminded me of, there was the Sacramento Damage team that Dave was supposed to lead up. And dude, I played so good at those tryouts. I had never played paintball that well in my life. I was playing like the mid-back-ish position on the snake side, and I was shooting people, I can't remember his name, but I shot this kid, and he ended up making the team. I shot him off the break 3 times in a row going to the snake. I was shooting everybody that day. Dave was like, sorry, Brad. We're not going to ask you to come back. I was like, what the fuck? I think Dave doesn't like me. That's all. It's just funny. Anyway. What the hell was I talking about? DMG, dye guns. Yeah, my thing with guns has just always been like, great, it's quieter, and it's like, great, it's, shoot smoother and all this stuff. But it's like, it needs to be reliable. So it's like, that's what I always thought about Luxes, right? It's like, yeah, they shoot well, but, they're not reliable. It needs to shoot. Paintballs need to come out of the barrel. So the most important thing is reliability, and the dye guns just have never been the most reliable option. So for the most part, I've always chose or decided to go with that more reliable option most of the time. There was a time when I worked for Angel, and I used Angels for a while. And they were reliable, but I wouldn't probably have chosen to shoot those if I was not working for them. So I just want reliability, and that's why I've, been really kind of just using Planet Eclipse guns and the G7R for, really like 2012 or 2013. But I didn't own a Planet Eclipse gun until like 2015. I think that was my first Eclipse gun, which is kind of crazy to think. That's crazy. DMG was supposed to be our semi-pro sister team run by Dave. I know. It's crazy that it was called Sacramento Damage at first, and then it turned into DMG, which originally stood for Dave Makes Gear, I believe, which is interesting. And then now it stands for Dedication Makes Greatness. Man, I was just killing people with that tryout, though. It was crazy. I was like, I really never played that good in my life. So I was like shocked. I was like, what? I was like, wow, David. I don't really care though. It didn't really matter to me because I wasn't like full gung ho. I'm going to go pro anyway. So it was like, I might have played the whole year, but after that, it was probably like, I was probably going to quit anyway. So it's not like I was probably not the right guy to pick anyway. David Luna. David Luna is a comedian that I know. I don't really know him, actually. I know of him, I should say. I'm going to be there, I think, on Sunday. I believe the 18th. I got to put my sandals back on. I got plantar fasciitis now. Sunday, capital Edge. What marker were you shooting at tryouts? G6R, for sure. Faux show. I mean, I guess they did ask me to play. I shouldn't say that they didn't ask me to play. I just didn't make the semi-pro team. They wanted me to play like D4 or some shit. I'm like, the fuck? Maybe it was D3. I didn't do it. I bought gun packages. I bought 3 gun packages, though, and sold them. Yep. Reddick, been playing almost 30 years, and I just bought my first Planet Eclipse gun at Atlantic City NXL. Yeah, I went forever. And, you know, I owned the paintball store and worked at paintball stores forever and just never had one. You know, it was during the time when I was still working for Angel and just had Angels. And then after Angel, I kind of switched to using the G6R and just never kind of did it. Me at Division 3, I'm not good. I'm not any good at paintball. I just know a bunch of stuff about it. I actually thought about that the other day. I was like, I don't think that I know a lot about paintball stuff. I've just gotten really good at answering questions. Like, I don't even necessarily know the answers to the questions. I've just gotten good at answering questions. Like, I can answer the question, if that makes any sense. I'm not going to necessarily be right, but I can, like, talk about it or something. How come Dynasty can't beat Fit? You know, I don't know. I truly don't know. You know, I struggle, to tell you the truth, I really struggle with even, like, understanding what they're really kind of doing. To tell you the truth, like, it's hard for me to understand paintball like that, right? It's just a difficult thing to watch. So it's difficult to say like what Paintball Fit are exactly doing to be better than the other teams, you know, because the way I see it is like off the break, they tend to shoot more people than the other teams. So more than not, they're probably up on bodies. So they're playing like a 5-on-4 or, you know, something like that off the break. And just by having that many more guns shooting, right? 5 guns versus 4, you can probably figure that out more than not. I would assume that most of the pro teams are going to win a 5-on-4, right? So if they can get into a 5-on-4, you know, most of the time they're going to win. And I feel like that's what happens. And then they just shoot people. It's like, I don't know, you know, I don't know really, you know, what's happening even. It's like, I can't, you know, we just can't really tell. It's just how paintball is. You just can't really tell that well. And I don't know if that's because like, we're not talking about it correctly and there's nobody like really illustrating how to play that well. It's not like football where like, oh, we're going to take a break and you have like people illustrating on a map. Like he shot here and then he told him to look this way. And that's what made this guy move over here. And we don't really have a lot of that. So I don't know if it's a result of paintball is just hard to figure out because of its nature. Or if we don't have enough people clearly communicating what it is or like how to do it and what happens. Because when I'm watching it, I'm like, yeah, I mean, that was a cool move, but I don't know. It's like watching someone dunk in basketball. It's like, it's a cool move, but that's probably not why they won. You know, when I'm watching basketball, I can be like, oh, that guy set a screen and that's how that guy got open. And they keep setting that screen right there and they need to be better around working around that ball screen. But in paintball, I'm like, I don't know. If anybody could explain to me, I'm all ears. I don't know. Sleepy Invader, Maddie would go insane trying to talk about every single move, for sure. But I don't think I've heard anybody really do it good, right? But I don't know if it's because you can't. Is it because you can't? Or because, like, there's no incentive to do it, or, you know, whatever. I truly don't know. JCP 2000. If PB Fets gets kills off the break, chances are they have a coach that was a good back player back in the day and understands the importance of walking the field and looking for lanes that are wide open. Yeah, for sure. I mean, they also play 4 times a week. That also helps. They play the layout and they're just like, bang, bang. They shoot that like off the break shot like 4,000 times. It's also really, really helpful. They have Cody, no, Casey something is his coach, is their coach. I'm not too familiar exactly with him. But yeah, I struggle with watching how to watch paintball or what to look for, or, you know. I think that most people do, right? Like, yeah. I really want someone to be like, no, here's the answer. But I don't know. JC says, wears violence but gets offended by Nazi engravings on a paintball marker. You guys are something else. Some brains. We should, I just want someone to explain to me how to watch paintball, or like what's going on here. JC, what I have a problem, what I don't like is that, like, I don't know, you know, I spend, just like a lot of the pro guys and a lot of the industry people, you know, we spend quite a bit of time in this industry and with paintball, and I would like it at least to be portrayed well. That's literally all. That's about it. Jesse, love all you're doing for the community, for sure. Thank you for your knowledge and dedication to our sport. See? That's what I'm talking about. 15 balls a second would be fun. Capped at semi, no NXL or anything else. In my opinion, that's probably because or 15. I don't want to play 15. I mean, 15 would suck. I mean, you guys should. I mean, we'll find out. I mean, honestly, isn't it a couple weeks out at a couple weeks at Vendetta Paintball. Man, my computer's getting a little weird because I'm trying to do too much. Out at Vendetta Paintball in Utah, they're going to have Aftershock and Dynasty are playing, and they're going to do 15 balls a second, and I believe 25-minute halves. So we'll at least get to see what 15's like. I mean, everybody constantly is talking about how like 15's the answer to everything, and it's going to cure cancer or some shit if we're shooting 15 full auto. So we'll get to see. I mean, my biggest thing is this, that I just don't think that, oh, it was this past weekend. Okay, I missed it then. I was like, I know it's in May. Hostility. What the hell was it talking about? Yeah, just that like 15's too fast, and I don't know. We'll just get shot off the break. Like everybody's just going to get shot so fast. It just might be stupid. So I just don't like it. ABJ, sir, how are you? June. There we go. I can't stop rocking back and forth. Do I give anyone anxiety of me just like constantly shifting? It's hard just to stand in one spot and not be totally motionless. Are pod limits ever happening? I don't know. I hope so. I mean, I truly think they should. I mean, I do. I mean, I don't know. I think that if we want to try, if Tournament Paintball at least wants to try to attract outside people, they should really go and look at the comments on a lot of the more popular videos. Verbal, he'll know. He'll back me up. I'm out at 15. I ain't trying to get shot that much filming. I used to. I took pictures on the field back in the old fucking uncapped, crazy, full auto MPPL days. I said Verbal will back me up because, yeah, man, any of these popular clips that get popular on the internet, one of the common trends is like people saying how stupid it is and how wasteful it is. I might have sort of, we've even maybe done this before in a live stream. Me talking about this like this. Yeah. And I just kind of feel that like, yeah, it just looks dumb. All the paint wasting, people loading pods, loading hoppers wrong. People just look at it as like stupid and wasteful. So I think that if we were to limit paint usage, people would like that a lot. I think that Inside Paintball would like that. And I don't know if Outside would like it. You never know. They're probably going to still think it's stupid, but we at least wouldn't get them saying how it's stupid that we just waste and it's unlimited and crazy. Because they are right. It does look stupid when you're just like you're wasting a bunch of paint. People complain, but people complain even if you get overshot at 10. It's true. See, it's what I'm saying. No skill is a very common one. Verbal says, top comments, no skill, so wasteful. Meal Team 6 is a good one. Yeah, definitely the no skill thing is popular as well, because people think that like you're just, you know, shooting at nothing, and you kind of are just fucking spraying and praying at everything. What are they shooting at? Exactly. Because what are they shooting at? Really, though? I don't know. I just think that I see those comments, and it's like, man, I mean, they are true, though. It is right. And those are people that don't think paintball is already cool. So those are just random people. And those are people that have no whatever. They're just like, oh, this is interesting. No, this is stupid because it's like wasteful and dumb and it takes no skill. But that's their like, you know, outside perception of it. So I don't know. Even though if we like switched to limited paint, it's still gonna, we'd still have that like perception or whatever. Yeah, Zorbit. There you go. Or Zobit. I don't know. That's a good one too. You wouldn't shoot that much in combat for sure. And it's like, have you ever seen the military? Those motherfuckers are just like, I think that like messed my computer up because the compressor kicked in really hard. Yeah, they're just like, it's like shoot at literally everything. They're like 10 million rounds, one target hit, success. I was like, man, increase their pay, but everyone thinks everyone's a sniper or some shit. That is a common one too. But it is outside perception, and I think that a lot of people feel that way, you know? It's not just like randos on the internet saying crazy stuff, because they're not really saying anything crazy, you know? They're not damn Balzerian. They're just like, this is wasteful. They're not wrong. I think people just need to understand they will get shot many times. God, see, this is my problem. I cannot read out loud. It's what happens and nothing will change. Mm-hmm. It's the nature of the game. Paintball is for everyone. Yeah, I don't know what we're talking about. I think the current design of hoppers caused more people to dump paint. The angle on the mouth is wrong. That could be, it could be a part of it for sure. People are just got to go slower too. Dudes are like freaking out trying to load. Verbal. The biggest problem is small field sizes. We can't get out of the back lines and show it properly without getting destroyed. That is true too, for sure. I mean, I mean, Atlantic City, they moved. They obviously had the sidelines way far back. I'm going to show you something. I'll show you guys something. This is kind of cool. At the sidelines, they had the cameras like moved like way far back. Not the sidelines, I'm sorry. At I've never really done this. I'm trying to like see how this works here. What happens if the computer is acting a little weird? Yeah, Atlantic City, they had the like wrong one. They had the like sidelines. No, that is the right one. They had the sidelines moved like way far back. Not the sidelines. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to do like 8 things. They had the start gate, like the end zone net or whatever, moved way far back. And that was cool because it allowed for all that compression on the image from that back center camera. And hopefully in the future, they continue to have that back center camera in the exact same spot, which is cool. It's not even necessarily where the camera is at, like lined up just in the back center. It's like Verbal said, having that like distance from the field gives you like a compression. The lenses like compress the image. It's like kind of how zoom lenses work. So it kind of like moves the stuff closer together so it looks better for what we're like kind of trying to do here from that back center. So having the camera be further back is better. Or it's like wide angle, you know, you can't see anything in a GoPro. Everything's so goddamn far away. Sorta, kind of why. That's actually the camera that was on the, that was the camera that was on the actual drone. Not the drone, that was the camera that was on the gimbal that was moving on the sidelines back and forth. I don't know what red body that is. That is a red body with Fujinon cinema lenses on it. I was like, holy shit. You guys are using this on the on that gimbal? I'm like, that's why it looked better. I mean, on the live stream, when you watch the live stream, it's like the saturation's a little higher, which could just be, you know, settings and stuff, but it definitely looked like pretty cool. But that was the actual camera that was on the gimbal. Well, not the gimbal, I keep saying gimbal. It was on the cable camera on the sideline, which is on a gimbal as well. So, yeah. G7R, we talked about it so much. It's we talked about it for a while back there at some point. It's a hell of a setup. I don't really know a lot about cameras. I mean, like I do and I don't. I don't know all the models and all of that stuff though. Like Verbal, I was going to ask what you're using, but then I'm like, I'm not going to really know. You know, I know the brands, that's about it. Yeah. It'd be cool to use some of that like cinema stuff. I assume you're not using like cinema lenses. That would be a little bit overkill. I thought these lenses were overkill. I'm like, holy shit, I wouldn't have put that on there. I'd have just put like an A7, like, or the A. What's the new like little teeny Sony body they have that's kind of like weird and cinema camera looking? I don't know. I wouldn't have put this crazy thing on there. I'm like, holy shit, guys. We're going to town. What camera are you using, Brad, at the field? What, like, in reference to what? Like which ones? Well, I use the Sony 7C and a bunch of GoPros. FX30 is the FX30? That sounds right, Ron. There's a bunch of those FX though. Didn't they like do an FX60 and there's like an FX90 and there's like all those things? Photos, also the Sony 7C. Right there, it's actually right here. That's what you're looking at. FX3. Okay, FX3 and the FX30, yeah. Cameras, yeah, I don't know. I was like, I don't know. I actually like, I don't know. I can't foresee me ever upgrading to a different camera. I don't really have a need for it. I mean, I don't, unless we get to cinema cameras and I'm getting like some Alexa LF. I'll take an Alexa LF. If we're doing that, maybe, but I'd have to spend like, you know, $100,000 or something to make this image look better. And it just is not worth it at all. It's like on YouTube, it does not matter at all. So it just doesn't matter at all. You know, like this camera right here, you're looking at right here is like, this is not the first camera I ever bought for YouTube, but it is the exact same model that I bought originally for YouTube. And it's like, it's going to be super wobbly, but it's like extraordinarily sharp and like perfect. And it's like, you know, I mean, obviously this is not the best example of a good camera, of fucking cameras, but whatever. Cinema cameras scare me because storage requirements. I know you gotta have a hard drive strapped to the outside of the goddamn thing. What's a red camera? I've heard guys filming a while back and made it seem like a big deal. They're just a brand. Like this is like this right here, where the mouse is circling. That's the actual camera right there. They're gonna call it a camera body. So you're just buying the body, and then you attach the lens to it right here. And all these rails and stuff are a bunch of different things, really. I mean, you have like this lens is actually probably manual focus as well. It's definitely a manual focus lens. So these gears right here, you can see that gear right there and this gear right here. That's the focus lens or the focus ring. So they actually can focus it on a little wheel remotely. So a guy has a wheel and he can focus the lens by turning like with a motor. So there's an electric motor in there that will turn this part. Anyway, that's the red body. And the reason red cameras got popular is because of the quality they could produce. Before, most of the people were probably using this company called Alexa. And these red cameras came out and they were like a quarter of the price or like a fifth of the price of those other cameras. So that's mainly why they've gotten so popular. It's just they're able to produce an image that is very good for way less cheaper. Red. You can kind of see it right there. It says red. There's just a bunch of shit attached to this. It really is just like a box. It's like a cube. Cameras. I don't know anything about cameras. I've learned all of this just from like doing this nonsense. What are you guys talking about? Yeah, Verbal, you probably shoot like, what do you shoot actually? Like 4K 120? You guys should watch the new Hormesis. The new Hormesis video is beautiful. I mean, the new like All That Matters documentary that's out right now. I mean, it's gorgeous. That's a very good looking. I mean, I don't think that anything has ever been filmed that looks that good on Paintball ever. It's really good. It's really, really good. Shout out to your Spider Shutter. The Spider Shutter was the second paintball gun I ever owned. I like that one. What'd you say? You can run arrays of red cameras that are complex shots programmed into them. Oh yeah, for sure. You could build a bullet time rig. 4K 120, yeah. 2 terabytes for an NXL weekend. Man, so much footage. So much footage. So much footage, it's crazy. Dude, I think Miko, I remember, what did you say? He said the amount of data the Hormesis movie took was insane. I remember one of the first days Miko said he shot 4 terabytes, for sure. I know he said the exact amount. It was like 680 or something like that. He said it was. He said it on one of the podcasts. It was probably Spick and Span. For sure. I mean, fuck. Yeah. Cruiser. Yeah, the higher the frame rate, I'll explain that. Why not? Let's talk about that too. So, normally, right, like you're watching me right now at 30 frames per second. And for your eyes to pick up actual video, it needs to be 24 frames a second, roughly. So if it's anything below that, like if I'm showing on the screen 12 frames a second, you'd see like dut, 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 dut. But if I switch to 24, you'd see like that fluid motion, right? So if you're able to record, say, 60 frames, right? If I'm showing you this at 60 frames a second, we have twice the amount of frames, so we can make it like twice as long. We can slow it down to 50% speed, and then you still have those 30 frames every like 1 second, right? Whereas if we slowed it down to 50% speed with 30 frames, it'd be 15 frames, so you get that like jerk, 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 jerk. So that's why you need that like higher frame rate. So you actually have like the frames to like slow the whole thing down. So it's like when you watch like, you know, super high speed footage, like the slow-mo guys or whatever, they're shooting like a 250,000 frames a second sometimes, and like, you know, tens of thousands of frames a second. So like Verbal's like, man, a whole day of the tournament or the whole weekend of the tournament's like, you know, terabytes or whatever. Imagine how many like terabytes it'd be for like a minute of that footage that's like 20,000 frames a second. Because you have 20,000 frames a second, not, you know, only 120. There you go, guys. I probably explained that better than closed bolt guns. Brad, you ever gonna do behind the scenes of Paintball ruin my life making process? I don't know. Probably not. I'm like, man, I don't know. You mean just like what chat GPT prompts I use? I kind of do that, but sort of. Dan, what's the camera that the Uprising guy had in his goggles? I didn't see. I don't know. I don't think there is a goggle camera that actually works that well. The best one's still the GoPro Session. And it's like 10 years old. A lot of what's his name? Matt the Gym Rat. I don't know why I was blinking there. Matt the Gym Rat, he uses the DJI something. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like this little teeny like lipstick kind of looking pill bottle kind of thing. For the light of sight camera, it's a goggle cam that goes inside the lens. We have more footage to share of it. Oh, Fiddly. There we go. That makes sense. I didn't read the name. Jimmy Hickey, right? There we go. Who said they had who had the goggle camera, though, you say? Oh, uprising. Okay, that makes sense. What's it called? Line of sight camera? There's also these cameras. Let's see, it might be like this. I'll show you guys something else. This is what I've always wanted to like experiment with this stuff, but the problem I have with some of these like a line of sight camera. I don't know anything about these. What the hell is this? Like shoots through a mirror? You have to use a mirror? It's like a periscope? I don't know what the heck this is. A line of sight camera? I searched line of sight camera. And like all this like... A line of sight camera, is a general sense, refers to any camera system where there's a direct obstruction path between the camera and the object being viewed. Yeah, so like a periscope. Crazy. That's not what I was looking for. I was going to look for race cars. I don't know. I'm trying. Hold on. You know, I don't know what the deal with these is, but I found these a while ago. Not that. I've just always been like skeptical of these kind of cameras, not like this specific camera, but just any of these like weird kind of off-brand cameras. Just because the quality's so shitty that it's like sketchy, like, you know, 2K, it's like, kidding me? But this is a helmet camera designed for race cars, for race car drivers. They didn't have any pictures of it. They don't have any like pictures of it like installed on a freaking helmet. Well, I don't know, but I mean, you guys can see the shape of it, right? So think of this going inside your paintball mask and then screwing to the top of the foam, right? So you'd put it in the mask and then it'd sit right on the top of your the like goggle frame, and it would just go straight out the front of the goggle frame. Something like this would 100% work. I mean, it's literally what we want. It's literally the perfect design for paintball. I think that that's probably the best angle we can get, is that like straight on first person view. But I don't know. I've never actually seen one in person. Here's an actual image. I'm getting there, hold on. Does that work? Hey, look at that. So see how that like would clip in, or you could like mount it to the top? And we could obviously mount those the exact same way as you know, a friggin' racing helmet. I looked for these when I was looking into Formula One, because I found out the manufacturer of the Formula One cameras, the company that actually makes those. And they're not for sale or anything. I just found out the company and then started looking into other racing helmet cameras. And that's going to be your best option for paintball cameras in the future. That's what I think, anyway. Who knows? Well, I DM'd you. Where'd you DM me at? Let's go if I go to here. I'm not big on the internet and replying to people or anything like that. So I'm not the greatest at actually like using it. Oh, there we go. Right there was the first thing that popped up. Oh, wait a minute. a periscope. Okay, hold on. We're looking at this here. Man, too bad we're like mega small. And I don't think it'll really help any if I zoom in. Oh gosh, oh maybe it will. Shit. Maybe that's too zoomed in. Oh, Mom, fucking... No. Whatever, we'll just leave it there. So where is this mounted? We'll check that out. You know, I don't know. You know, my problem is they're too wide. I think that the lenses are too wide. I really wish, like, I don't know if I'm making you guys deaf or not. Sorry if it was like really fucking loud. I can't hear it. Oh wow, so is it all paintball? How did I not see this? I want like an actual picture of the camera. See, but when you search line of sight cameras in Google, like it just like comes up as like products, you know? Well, I guess it is line of sight peripherals. See, this is what comes up. It's like all this research about like freaking line of sight cameras. Interesting. You know what I like, I don't know. I mean, from my like experience with cameras is that like what you really want is two things. I think that you want a wide lens that's like that on the actual person, like in your mask, so you can get that like wide field of view that is like your eyeballs, right? But then I really would like a camera that's like a 75 millimeter lens, or it has some sort of zoom on it, so that when I'm shooting, right, this camera is attached to my barrel, right on top of the barrel, so that when I'm shooting, it's actually like zoomed in on my target, so that I can actually see the paint hitting people, you know, because with these like crazy wide lenses, it's like you can't see anything. I mean, once something's like 15 feet away, it's like fucking, I don't know, there's something over there. Like you just can't like make shit out. So it's difficult. I mean, you can obviously, if it's a wide lens, you can, you know, zoom in and crop it yourself, but the quality just gets weird. I don't know. Streaming wirelessly to a headset too, and you can adjust the lens. Okay, you can. They can adjust the lens width. It's not delivery ready. It's not delivery ready. It's still in development. They haven't launched it yet. Yeah, it looked like they were like it's like researchy time. Huh. Yep, verbal for sure. That's what I was like. You can zoom in. I'm like 18K or like 16K or something crazy. Man, the resolution matters a little bit. It's like that lens quality situation too. It's like everything matters. Yeah, I mean, I've tried a bunch of stuff. I tried to get there's a company called RunCam that makes like lipstick cameras that are made for like real firearms, and a lot of airsoft guys use them, and they mount them on their airsoft guns, and they're like a 4x zoom or whatever, so it's like way further zoomed in than like a GoPro. It looks good, it looks fine on the airsoft guns, but once you mount it on a paintball gun, it like the kick fucks it all up. Because it's zoomed in and there's no stabilization, and you know, it's like zoomed in lens and it looks all fucking crazy, and it like vibrates the camera, like zzz, like gets all crazy looking when you shoot, and like it just doesn't work. You need to like special design something with like stabilization or something. I have one with a barrel mount. I'd be happy to ship it to you, Michael says. You have what with the barrel mount? Like the whatever camera we're talking about? The line of sight camera? I've tried all kinds of cameras. Like I'm still like the GoPro Session is still the best one. The Run Cam. I've tried all of them. I've tried like 4 of them. I don't have the footage anymore. I used to own a couple of them. I've purchased multiples of those. Because they have like multiple different run cams. They have one that's like a wide angle one, and then they have like a one that you can attach different like lenses to. I think they call it the scope cam though. I don't actually think it's called the run cam. The scope cam. The Run Cam Scope Cam 2 is what they call it. It has been discontinued. It has a 40 millimeter. Yeah. Yeah, but it just sucks because the guns kick and it doesn't work that well. Yeah, every time I tried it, I didn't like it. The footage looked bad, you know, like I wanted it to be like super zoomed in, but it just doesn't work because the gun kicks. Airsoft, it's great. It's perfect on those guys' airsoft guns, but paintball guns be kicking too much, you know? Plus, I don't really, you know, I'm not getting gameplay footage anymore anyway, so it's like I don't really play that much. It's kind of, the channel is taking a different route. Some brain says, I run a trigger cam on my rifles. It sucks for 300 Win magazines. I was wondering that because it says it's for a rifle, and it's like, rifles kick so fucking hard. I can't imagine it looks good. Tacticam sent me 2 barrel mounted cameras used for hunting and whatnot, but the lens is shattered. Oh, that's not good. After getting shot. Mine probably, the one I had, they probably would have too, honestly. It was just like, you know, looking at video from a phone 10 years ago when you're shaking it around without it being stable. It was just god awful looking. Make people throw up and shit. That's what I want, but I wonder if I have. I don't even know. I probably just deleted all that footage right away. But it really was cool because it was like a good, you know, probably like 5 to 6 zoom compared to like the GoPros, and you could see people clear as day when you were turn that camera and turn it on, and you could see the person clear as day in the open. It was cool. Yeah, I tried software stabilized, but I mean, it was bad. Because the real problem is like, it's not that the camera is even moving, right? It's not that it's like moving through space. It's that like the kick of the gun is so violent and like jarring to the camera. I actually think that like, it's actually like moving the elements inside of it even. So it would get like, it was just crazy. It's so unusable. It was wild. It was wild. It did not. It was no way it was going to work for any stabilization. So I don't like video stabilization anyway. It makes me want to like die inside. So I hate stabilized footage. Like all the gameplay footage on my channel, I've never had stabilization. Everyone uses like GoPro stabilization stuff, and I hate it. So I turn it off. I think it looks better without it. I prefer the jarriness. Cybertooth just bought a used Geo4 twister. Couldn't change my preference to spool over poppet like the LV2. What is this? It couldn't change my preference to the spool over the poppet. I don't know what that means. I'm not very smart. My preference on spool valve or poppet valve guns is, I don't know. Nowadays, I don't really care. I don't even like think about it, you know, because there's just not as many pop-it valve guns. There's only really one, you know, LV2. So if you like them, that's the only one you got. But I like spool valve guns now. We'll go with that. PRS. What's PRS? Public something? I don't know. Cyborg's coming out at Cup, really? Or did we know that? Did we know that? Did they talk about that already? I can't remember. Because didn't when they released the GTX, MacDev said they were going to do the Cyborg, I think, at the same time, right? We're talking about cannons. I just want to see if anyone's like, yeah, they talked about it at the same time. They put out a roadmap. That's right. Okay. That's right. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go... I don't know. I think I'm going to go to the river. How's that sound? If you bought a GTX, you could pre-order a Cyborg. Didn't they only... How many GTXs did they make? Or didn't they say they're only making 200 Cyborgs, right? I think that's what it was, right? They're only making like 250 Cyborgs. Peking Indo. Why do I know that? Oh, that's right. Some sort of hormesis attachment. Only 200 MacDev Cyborgs later this year, according to Punisher's PB recent YouTube video. Sounds right. That's what I thought they said. Because I thought MacDev, they were like, hey, look at the GTX, and we're going to make a Cyborg too. So if you want a Cyborg, you can buy this. I don't know. I really, that makes sense. I was like, man, I know this somewhere. I've always liked the way those MacDev gun feel. Like the Cyborg 6 feels really good in your hands. No, not the Cyborg 6. I'm thinking of the, was it the 06? Was it the 06? I don't remember. Which one did they tool? Which was the first hoseless one? I don't remember. Some brains. What are you saying? Did you make a tongue hit? Was it the 6? So it wasn't, was it the 06 or was it just the Cyborg 6? Because I'm like, it didn't come out into, the hoseless one didn't come out in 2006. Oh yeah, the droid, maybe it was the droid 2. That's right. Dude, their naming is fucking kills me. They had the droid, the drone, the clone, the cyborg. It's like, hey, you guys are fucking killing me here. Fucking names. I remember that now. Having to never remember the names of the guns. 06. 06 a cult classic. Just 6. 06. Okay, that's why. Because I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Thank you, Denzel. We're clearing that up. Definitely Star Wars fans. It killed me though, because I'm like the drone and the droid, and I could never remember which was which. It was so confusing. But I've always liked the way those guns felt. In the hands, they feel really good. I don't know, the spacing and everything and the trigger frames feel really good. They've just, not been so great with customer service and getting parts. Not that they were bad people, but it was hard to get parts and hard to get stuff serviced for a long time. So yeah, I'm out of here. Adios, Dan. Guys, I'm leaving. I'm going to go to the river. I think to the river. It's kind of cold outside though. 66 degrees. Yeah, I'm curious about that camera. I gotta look at that camera more. I agree, Mech. They feel incredible ergonomics. I'm with you. Yeah, they do feel great. I just like, I don't know, they just were never the greatest guns, so it never really like intrigued me. But I've always really liked like the trigger frames just feel all really, really good. 66 is cold, okay? I'm gonna look into it. See if they'll send me something. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not even sure if I'd use it though, so it's like, you know, I don't know. I'm not really sure I would have much use for it. I just want to see what it looks like. I've always wanted to make my own camera too, like take apart a GoPro and then like print some stuff and like make myself my own racing kind of helmet GoPro. It was 86 yesterday. Some brains. I know, it was really hot. It was crazy yesterday. And then today it's like cold. It's wild. You know, fucking crazy. Weather. All right, guys. Well, hopefully we don't have to talk about Dan Balzerian anymore. And, I don't know. Oh! Wait a minute. I just saw, like, the uprising. I just saw the other video, that other camera video. I thought it was something crazy. They just have it set up like in a, I was gonna say a HUD. Anyway, all right, guys. I don't know. Come back next time. You know, maybe we'll definitely have some more paintball stuff to talk about, as we always do. In the meantime, I don't know. Just don't go do any like, you know, Third Reich stuff. Yeah.